Welcome to the Imperium Forex daily video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration.
Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you very much for joining me for the end of the week session. Well, today's webinar, the Australian dollar is attempting to try and take on the topside challenge of 79.10. What has inspired the move is firstly that we had a very strong retail sales release yesterday. The market rose by 1.2% in November following October growth by 0.5% and beat the expectations of 0.4%. So from the release did actually inspire a slightly bullish case. Now today we do have China to release its trade balance data. A positive reading could initially give a further boost to the upside. Now the market is looking towards this level at 79.10. A break above there would leave me neutral, and I'll be actually stepping aside and seeing how the market actually is pairing out. One concerning thing is that the US dollar is weak. After initially taking a tumble to the downside overnight, printed a low of 91.52 before recapturing 91.62, 10 points higher. As long as we maintain above 91 figure 20 in the index, then this should actually serve as initial recovery for the dollar. So with the Australian dollar, if we do see a rejection from 79.10, this would look down towards 78.55 with the base still holding around 77.90. So as I mentioned, the dollar was weak and you can see the euro has actually sustained its rally. Partly behind the ECB minutes that came out overnight. Now the ECB has come out and said that the central bank might be looking to update its forward guidance in 2018 ahead of the market expectations, despite the going on the quantitative easing, which the program is set to run until September 2018. The minutes also noted that inflation, like the US, was still causing the central bank a headache in the short term, with negative surprises implying a downward shift in the path of inflation over the near term. A slightly hawkish statement. If so, then we could see a slightly improvement in euro, but we would still need to clear 120.60.80. If we do see a rejection, and we have on many a times seen a rejection from this level, then we are looking back towards 119.60.65. Well, the dollar-yen case hasn't really moved, considering what started the fall on the back of yen strength was an article that came out in the US saying that China was considering to slow or halt the purchase of its US government bonds. Now, China boasts the largest currency reserve, which is estimated around about $3 trillion. It is also the biggest holder of US government bonds in the amount of around 1.19 trillion. Now, that all said, China has hit back by saying it planned to scale back buying US treasuries is fake news. So obviously they put it back onto one of Donald Trump's quotes, which is quite interesting. But nevertheless, into today we could see support challenged around 110.85.95 because the technical implications are still a little bit on the weak side. I'm a buyer on dips and I keep my stop very tight underneath that level as we could see a rebound back to 112 figure to 10. Well, the pound took a stab to the downside overnight at 134.60.80, but regained good momentum. At the moment, the market is challenging around 135.5, just underneath the resistance of 135.95.05. Now, from this level, I do expect to see further rejection and see the market to look back towards this uptrend at the moment, which is around 134.60.80. For those trading gold, well, the market is still bullish and looking towards this level of 26. Now, if we've seen the low for this week, which was at 1,308, the support I put in the report, then we could be looking up towards 32 to 34 as a potential target. For some of you that may know, I am very bullish on gold and silver. Therefore, we could see a move to the upside. Now, tonight, do keep a note that we do have the US to release its US inflation data. The market will be looking for clues on potential pace of a rate hike from the Federal Reserve. At the moment, they are pricing in a March hike. If the figure does come out to a better start, then we could see a slight ease in the pattern and probably pull back towards 16 with the base still holding around 1,308. As I mentioned, I'm bullish silver, so from $16.80, I do expect to see a recovery. We're getting a little bit of hesitation down here from these dojis. Does suggest that we could see a rise up towards 17.30. And to round off with oil, well, the market at the moment is still challenging that top side around $64. It is overbought, and I am not a supporter from this levels to buy or even be long. I do expect to see a rejection from here very, very soon. With the resistance now seen around 64.40, support comes in at present at 62.55. So that wraps up for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a nice day and a great weekend that's about to commence.